It's time to take a few moments from your busy day, unwind, and be inspired as you listen to the insights of empowerment psychic Halley Elise, a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author. Be sure to contact Halley Elise at halleyelise.com. And now, The Halley Elise Show.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're tuning in today, and it's nice to be back at WNN. I won't mention the other station that I left. It's kind of funny. Sometimes you dabble a little bit and you check out and see if something's a little different or if there is something more to it. But ultimately, I think in life, we go home no matter what's going on. So again, welcome, and thank you to WNN for having me back. I'm happy to be here, and if you are watching the show, not just listening in, you might be wondering what's with the red sunglasses. I was teasing one of the producers and said, we're having red sunglass week, so you have to wear red sunglasses. Actually, I'm teasing about that. The truth of the matter is I did something to my eye, don't ask, and it doesn't look so pretty, so I decided I was going to cover up. And, listen, the red matches the outfit, so it's all good. The irony is they say it's going to be 2 weeks until it takes care of itself. And I'm thinking, no, energy work, a little bit of meditation, perhaps a little self-hypnosis. I'm going to kick this sucker out, hopefully. I'll take the hopefully out of it and say definitively. So there you go. For those of you who are listening in for the very first time to the Halley Elise Show, you'll find that the show is usually a compilation of things that are paranormal, metaphysical, psychic, holistic, spiritual, and community. The idea really is to empower you in the best way possible. I will be doing psychic readings on the show, so if you'd like to call in, feel free to give a call at 888-565-1470. Once again, that's 888-565-1470. And just so that you know, if you're calling to schedule a private appointment, it's not at the radio station. That's separate. And this is why you'll hear on and off through the show the mention of the website as well as the direct line that you can call in. So, can you believe it is May? I'm just astonished. How did we get to spring so quickly? I swear we were just celebrating the New Year's. Amazing to me. But it seems as if as we get older, time moves faster. For instance, when you're a child, you think in terms of when am I going to grow up? When am I going to be big enough? When am I going to be allowed to do? When am I? And as we get older, we think in terms of, oh, could I just have a little more, or can I just wait? It's somewhat of an interesting observation that as we mature, obviously our views change, our desires change. That which soothed us or gave us impetus early on usually changes. Very rarely do we find somebody who starts out with a passion about something as a child following all the way through. And yet, there are those people. And I'll give an example. Somebody might say that they want to be a doctor or possibly a firefighter as a child, and they grow up and they're a fashion designer. Totally different realm. That's the nice thing about us recognizing that we always have choice. And I say this and I bring this up in such a benign fashion because I really want everybody listening and watching to understand choosing what we have in our world is not limited to the career that we follow. We can choose to have peace in our world. We can choose to have greatness in our world and understand that greatness is a personal situation. It is not a matter of, are we great because the world sees us as such? It is a matter of how do we view ourselves? How is it that we are recognized? I'll never forget, I attended a program many years ago with one of my mentors, and at the very end of the program, he had been talking about abundance and wealth, specifically versus greatness, but it's the same gist. But through the conversation, he was referring to these things. And this lovely lady came up at the end and said, I am all of that. I have abundance. I have wealth. And she said to him, do you know why? And he said, no, tell me why. Her answer to him was, because I have family. I have an abundant family. I have wealth of love. It stayed with me. It was something so little, but it stayed with me because it reminded me that we can choose. What does abundance mean to you? What does wealth mean to you? What does greatness mean to you? Does it have to do with material things? Or does it have to do with an emotional situation? Or perhaps it's more a matter of doing those things that you believe you should be doing. After we had that film where it said the bucket list, and forgive me, I forgot the name of the film. I think it should have been called The Bucket List because everybody remembers that part of it. I had no idea that there was such a thing as a bucket list. To me, it was simply a matter of goals or desires for your future. When I watched this film and they spoke about the bucket list, I thought, isn't that interesting? People actually wait to the end of their life to accomplish the things that they desire. That makes no sense to me. In the same way, it makes no sense to me that anyone would work in a position that they are unhappy with. How often is it that you hear someone say, "Oh, I gotta go to work," and they're thinking, "I don't really want to be there, but it's a necessity because I have to have a roof over my head and put food on the table, take care of necessities." It's understandable. Why not, though, embark on something that is going to make your heart smile? I know many people who do things they love. I have a family member who's in the jewelry business, and it makes her very happy. She's artistic by nature. Over the years, she's done many artistic things. The jewelry, though, working with diamonds, makes her feel very happy. It's dealing with the people and seeing the smiles on their face and helping them create and picking out something special. Now, could she have done secretarial work? Sure. Could she have done retail in a department store? Of course. But she chose something that made her heart smile. And after all of these years, and it's several decades, she still does the same thing because it brings her joy. So what is it that you are doing that perhaps is not bringing you the desired outcome that you want? Give some thought to that. And if you need assistance, call into the show today because I am more than happy to give you quick and easy tools to get you moving in the direction that you want. You'll find I truly don't believe in laborious tasks, and I don't believe in taking 20 years to get from point A to point B. It's unnecessary. You can give a holler and say your specific situation, and we could help you make a minor adjustment in your consciousness, in what you're attracting to make a difference. Interesting example. I have a dear friend, and it's her birthday. And if she's listening, happy birthday. I'll just leave it at that. We were talking about money, and she had another friend who's very well off financially, and she was having a conversation with her as well. And her friend said to her, "You don't have a relationship with money." And it was interesting to think about the idea that we have a relationship with people, we have a relationship with animals, perhaps even plants, but a relationship with money. How does that work? Well, when you're handed money, do you go to a place in your head and say, "Ooh, thank you, I have money"? Or do you go to a place in your head and say, "Ugh, that's all that it is"? Or, "Oh, well, now I can pay a bill"? Versus, "Wow, the universe is providing me with money. How exciting is that?" This was brought to the attention of my friend. And it's interesting because she is one of those people that is so wealthy in so many ways, but the financial end of it was somewhat of a quandary. She started to make a shift, started to handle money differently, talk to money differently, think about money differently. And this really is a segue from what I was saying earlier in respect to business, in respect to work. But take it a step further. What about your health? Do you wake up and say, "Well, I have fibromyalgia and I have joint pain and my digestive system isn't great and I don't sleep well, and that's just how it is, and I'm on medicine and I have to do those things"? Or do you say, "All of those things are affecting me, but I have the ability to make change. I'm choosing a different route"? There's a lovely woman I met at Toastmasters who was very ill, had no clue what the problem was, went to the doctor, they ran all sorts of tests till they finally figured out what it was, and their response to her, in essence, was, "You'll be on medication for the rest of your life." She didn't like that idea, so she started research. The short end of all of this is, after doing some extensive research, she was able to find a natural way to take care of herself. Now, am I dismissing our medical community? Not at all. I believe it's very important that we have doctors and diagnosticians and individuals who can help us. We want to keep track of our vitamin levels and our blood levels and all of those things that keep us going. We want to make sure that if there is an accident, there's somebody there to look after us and to be able to tell us what's going on. The things that I am referring to are the things that have to do with your daily interactions. How do you see your world? Are you eating a certain way? Or are you not eating? Are you sleeping? Or are you not sleeping? And all of these things seem to be things that it's a given. We pay attention to those things, right? But no, more often than not, we do not pay attention to those things. It's more a matter of we take them for granted. Sorry about that. My necklace is banging over there. The bottom line, no matter what's going on in your world, if you want to make a change, it's possible. I'll share one more story, and then anybody would like to call in for a reading, we'll open up the lines here. There was a gentleman who was in a plane accident. He broke pretty much every bone in his body. They had him on breathing apparatus. They had him pretty much suspended from the bed with all of these contraptions. And the doctors told his family, in most probability, he was not going to ever walk again, not going to make it out of the hospital. They didn't believe that he could even get better enough, well enough to go home. The man hearing this in his half awake, half unconscious state thought, that's not acceptable. I'm going to be out by Christmas. I believe it was 10 months before Christmas that he made this decision within his mind. And he kept thinking, they're going to take me off of that respirator. They're going to take me off that breathing machine. I just have to breathe deeply. I just have to breathe on my own. That's going to be the start of it. When they took him off the breathing device, I guess it was about 3 weeks later, he went into that space, into that memory of breathing deeply, took the deepest breath he could. Well, the machine did not flatline. He stayed. Not only did he stay, each day they saw an improvement. They were astounded how it was possible. He walked out of the hospital on Christmas the way that he had planned. Granted, he needed assistance. Granted, it wasn't a perfect walk. But this was somebody who was told indirectly, because he wasn't speaking at that time, he was told by what was going on around him, he had no future. He was not going to make it. So please keep in mind, no matter what's going on in your world, you have the ability to make a change. And it's not a matter of how much money, and it's not a matter of even how many resources you have. It is a matter of using the mind, because the mind truly is what directs everything that takes place in our world. The mind is what connects us to the divine consciousness. The mind is what connects us to our heart. And the heart is what has memory, soul memory. All of these things considered, you are powerful, way beyond what you might think. Take it under advisement. And as I said, if you'd like to call in and talk about a specific issue that you feel you need assistance on, I'm more than happy to assist. We're going to take a little break, and when we return, give a holler to 888-565-1470. Thank you. This is your empowerment psychic, Halley, Elise, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are concerned for our loved ones. I have helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com.
You have been listening to a Top 100 Psychic, Halley Elise, your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. For a private session, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show and your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise.
Welcome back. I do want to clarify if you're thinking, wait, she said one phone number and then when they were talking, it was another phone number. And I find a lot of times it's very confusing to people. The phone number that was announced during commercial is the private number to the business, well, public number to the business, actually. The other number that I mentioned, 888-565-1470. That's the number to call into the station if you'd like a reading or you just want to say hi or there's an issue that is coming up for you. It's cute. I had a phone call yesterday from someone who thought the show was supposed to be on yesterday. And they said to me, do you know Jill Dane? And I started laughing. I said, yes, Jill and I are friends. And she said, well, were you ever on her show? I said, yes, I was on her show. She's been on my show. We do that every once in a while. We share space together. So she says, well, how come you're not on the air now? And I simply said, that's because the show's tomorrow. She goes, oh, okay. So it's kind of funny. But again, just to reiterate, the 888 phone number, which is 888-565-1470, is for you to get your reading and communicate with me directly. The other phone number that is mentioned, on our break, which is a 561 phone number, is the office phone number for scheduling appointments, speaking engagements, etc. So see, now you're all caught up. Prior to the break, I was talking about your ability to make massive changes within your world by simply shifting your consciousness. Now, if you think about it, over the years, there have been many different folks who do motivation programs, individuals who do meditation classes, folks who teach manifestation. I do quite a few of these things, actually. They all have a similar component, and that is to help you adjust what's taking place within your consciousness, within your mindset. We don't realize at times that we self-sabotage. I'll give you an example. You can say, I'm tired of the business I'm in. I want to start a new business. And yet, before you've done your research, before you decide the, if you will, steps to get you to the next place, you've already dove in. You've said, okay, I've left the other job and I'm going to make this happen. And then because you're not instantly successful, you say it's not working. But think about this. Anything that you do takes time. And I don't care what it is. If it's cooking an egg, if it's getting married, or if it's something as simple as writing a letter, it doesn't happen in less than 2 seconds. You have to allow yourself that opportunity to have your energy be in alignment with your consciousness. You have to allow yourself a physical knowing that you're capable of doing what it is as well. When it comes to manifestation, I tease very often about instant manifestation. I'm very grateful to say I can do a little prayer, and I do affirmative prayer, which is thank you in advance for whatever that outcome is. I find that almost instantly, and to me, instantly is within a day, things happen. So if I can do that, everybody can do that. I have friends who within an hour, things happen. It's not a matter of can you do it? It is a matter of how are you doing it? Are you thinking in terms of I'd like to do this, but? Are you thinking in terms of I thought about it, it should have happened already? A lot of those things sound negative. It's not so much that they're negative. It is a matter of they're taking away that energy that you're using to make things happen. Anytime you say but, anytime you say, I wish it would, anytime you say, well, hopefully, these may sound as if you're being optimistic, but the truth is you're negating an energy that you put out. Esther Hicks and her husband talked with Abraham, a collective consciousness. Nowadays, it's just Esther. They share with us that just a brief moment of concentration activates our ability to attract what it is that we desire in our lives. we have the ability to manifest anything we want. And for those of you thinking, well, that's easy for you to say, it's a learned process. In the same way that you learn how to read or write, learning how to manifest is a learned process, though it's not as difficult as you might think. I want to make a suggestion to everyone listening in, and that is give yourself a few minutes each day, whether it's in the morning before you start your day or in the evening before you go to bed, and write down what is your truest heart's desire. And each day, add something to it. And what I mean by that is the essence. So for instance, if you say, I want to be in love, then write down what does that feel like. So for instance, the first day you would say, I want to be in love. Second day you would say, when I'm in love, I feel safe and secure. The third day you would say, I can do anything with this person in my corner. The fourth day you might say, it's so great to just snuggle on the days off. Whatever it is that you can come up with, that you can connect with, allow yourself to write that down. Take at least 2 minutes each day after you've written down whatever it is. Just kind of contemplate, what does that feel like? Where is it inside of you? Think in terms of truly, if it was already with you, how would that make you feel? And then be open to it. And what that means is not to contradict what you've said and not to eliminate the work that you've done. And when I say work, the simple process of writing makes a huge difference. Okay, I believe we have 2 callers on the line if I'm seeing. I see 2. Yes? Okay. All right. So we'll take the first caller. Hal. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So I don't want to really have any particular thing to talk about. I just want to tell you that I'm just really enjoying your show, and it's great to hear you back on the air again.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And I'm listening to your advice about writing everything down.
Okay. Well, it's not just so much writing, but it gives us a focal point, and it gives us a moment to truly pay attention to what it is that we want versus dismissing it. Because the truth is, in our head, we think over 2,000 thoughts a day, and it's difficult sometimes to reel them in.
Well, that certainly explains me.
Okay. Well, perhaps you can get something really lovely to write on and make it a habit. Maybe if you're one of those people that find that there are too many things going on at any given moment, put your piece of paper somewhere that you absolutely have to see it. For instance, if you're going to brush your teeth, maybe take 2 minutes before you brush your teeth.
Okay. Actually, I've been thinking about getting a cool journal pad anyway, to keeping track of my notes. As I get older, I don't want to forget things. But
okay.
I'm going to try that. Anyway, I just want to tell you I really enjoy you back on the air again.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Excuse me. It's amazing. I drink water, all of a sudden there's congestion. There must be a reason for that. I'll have to ask one of my doctor friends to find out. Anyways, let me give out the phone number once again. It's 888-565-1470. That's 888-565-1470. If you'd like to give a call in and have a reading, or if you'd like to talk about manifestation today. I do, while I have this opportunity, want to say thank you to Bill over at the Burger House. He's always supportive of the Halley Elise show, and he's got the best burgers. They're brisket burgers, and they are huge. I think they're a pound each, 3/4 pound. I don't even know how to explain it. All I know is that they're massive. I do want to say that it is not your Burger King type of burger or your drive-through type of burger, meaning you're not going to just pay $2. The burger does cost money, but you will walk out smiling because the flavor is great, it's cooked to perfection, and the presentation is awesome. So if you have a chance, this is in Boca Raton, the Burger House, the Boca Burger House. Run in, say hi to Bill, tell him Halley said you should try a burger. Not only that, you know what they have that's amazing too? They make fresh potato chips right there on the premises. So if you want a basket of potato chips, these are just delicious. There's nothing like homemade potato chips. Also, the same thing is true with their French fries. Nothing is bought in advance or prefabbed. It's all made right there on the premises. I have to tell you, what I like too is they stay open later at night. So if you get a craving for something late night, it's a great place. And they're very generous with chocolate chip cookies. And you can tell Bill I said that too, because usually when I walk in the door, that's the first thing I ask about is, do you have fresh chocolate chip cookies? And they're pretty amazing as well. So remember the Boca Burger House. Check them out. As I said, you're not going to get a $2 burger. You get an amazing burger. And there's that old saying about you get what you pay for. In this situation, your stomach will be happy and your mouth will be happy and your heart will be happy. So when you have a chance, take a look at the Boca Burger House. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about switching mindset, manifestation, creating different environments for yourself. I do want to emphasize that so much of what we believe really has nothing to do with who we are. It has to do with how we grew up. It has to do with what our parents said, what a teacher might have said, what we hear in advertising. We are constantly taking in everything. Our subconscious minds, did you know that they absorb and remember absolutely everything? It is as if you have a file cabinet in the back of your head, and it stores all sorts of information. This is why, for instance, in certain situations where, for instance, somebody has watched a crime but can't possibly remember what took place, they go under hypnosis. And under hypnosis, where you remove that barrier that is stopping your consciousness to access your subconscious mind, all of a sudden, it's full access. And you're able to say, oh, yes, the person who robbed that bank was 6'2", had dark hair, was wearing a real fine pair of shoes. We have everything that we need, everything that we've ever learned, everything that we have been exposed to at our fingertips. It is simply a matter of what our choice is to connect with those things. So perhaps the next time you think ew about something, ask yourself, does this serve me? Is this true to me? You might find that what pops up for you is that sense of, no, wait, I don't even know why I've been doing this. I've been doing this forever. I share a story, and I've done this probably a million times, but my thinking is it's so profound because it makes so much sense. There was a couple that had roast beef, and the wife was going to make the roast beef, and she's preparing it, and she's seasoning it, and she's doing everything, and she cuts off the end of it, takes off a hefty amount, and puts it in the pot. And her husband says to her, why are you doing this? And she says, good question. It's the way Mom always made it. So the husband says, well, let's call your mom and find out. So they call the mom, and the mom says, Grandma always made it that way. So then they reach out to the grandmother, and they ask the grandmother, why is it that you make the roast and you cut off the end and throw away what looks like good meat? And Grandma says, because it wouldn't fit in the pot. So here is this belief of this is the proper way of doing something, and it's in your consciousness because you've seen it, you've been exposed to it, it's been consistent in your world. And guess what? It doesn't apply. So give a little thought to that. We have another caller on the line. Hello there. How are you? Hello.
Hi, Halley. It's Kylie.
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Nice to hear from you.
So nice to hear you on the air.
Thanks. Yes, I know
we have. And congratulate you and tell you it's a wonderful show.
Oh, thanks, honey.
And I said I'd love to have a reading, but I don't have a specific question.
Well, you don't have to have a specific question. I can just give you some info if you like. How's that?
Very good.
Okay, so the first thing that pops up for me is, in as much as you do traveling, there's a lot more coming up. I feel like there's a couple of more clients, which is interesting because I know you have a particular individual that you're dealing with and you're representing, and yet I feel like there's a couple of additional clients that are coming in, and I would say within the next 6 to 8 months here. So it'll be really interesting because you're going to start juggling.
Well, Hallie, it's so funny because like you were talking about those of you that start a business and are taking the steps to do that. I'm
Yes.
actually taking the steps to ramp up, and I have no idea why I was led to do that.
Well, it's because on some deeper level, you understand that this is what you're supposed to do. I mean, really think about it for a minute, Kylie. When you were passionate with the other company that you were with, you were
Yes.
full in. There was not a thought about going to work. It was, hey, isn't this great? This is what we're doing. And it was excitement. It was a part of you. When things changed, you started to think in terms of, okay, how do I make a change? So now that you've been, we'll say, independent in a different environment, all of a sudden it's as if the mind says, oh, you want more of this? You want more good stuff? Okay, we can relax and help you find that. So things that you aren't actually saying, I want to think about, are going to surface from your subconscious and point you in the right direction so that you can have that same connected feeling, that same passion again about the work. And as I mentioned, I get a couple of new clients coming in that are going to be wonderful. And I'm going to say something that I don't feel like you actually gave a lot of thought to, but I feel like is on the horizon: creating your own PR company. And
Very good.
having other people working with you versus you doing it all. I don't get that being this year. To me, it's roughly a 2-year process, though I feel as if it's going to be pretty quick for you when you say, okay, I'm doing this, click, click, click. You have helped so many people and made so many connections and still have those connections. It's very easy to just share what you're doing. Next thing you know, they're on your doorstep.
Yay, how exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, I was making some decisions about a new database program and some things that would be easier, and then I thought, but you could easily upscale this, and I thought, I wonder if I'm scaling up a little bit now.
Yes, you've started. And as I said, over the next 8 to 10 months here, 8 months, 6 months, well, I'm saying 8 to 10 is what comes in. You're going to notice that things keep showing up to make this easier for you. And you're going to find that in as much as in your head you're thinking, but you work so many hours when you're working, how are you going to manage? The right people are going to show up for you to be able to do this. And it's going to be a lot easier than you think.
Very good.
So good stuff is coming.
You. Thank you so much, Halley.
Oh, you're very
I've always
welcome, honey.
thought so highly of you. Your work is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
and I'm so glad to be connected with you again on air.
Thanks, honey. I hope to see you soon, and if not, at least talk with you again. Take care.
Very, very good. Thank you.
All right, hon. We're going to take a quick break from the Halley Elise Show, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. Hi, it's Halley Elise, your empowerment psychic, and it's time to take a few moments from your busy day, unwind, and be inspired as you listen to Insights. I am a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author, and I invite you to join me Tuesdays noontime on WNN Radio. I look forward to speaking with you.
You have been listening to a Top 100 Psychic, Halley Elise, your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. For a private session, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show and your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise.
Welcome back. During break, I heard that we had 2 other ladies on the phone. We had Lisa and another gal. So I'm going to say hi to Lisa first, and then we'll go to the other gal. Hi, how are you?
I was first.
You were first? Jamie, okay. How do you know that you were first?
I called and I texted Lisa that I'm on hold, and she goes, I'm going to call now. Thanks for the reminder.
Oh, that's too funny. Okay, so Jamie, you're first.
That's so funny. How did you even hear me?
How are you?
Yes, that's hysterical.
That's because we have somebody wonderful in the operations room who made sure that you got on the line.
She's texting me. She goes, he said I'm after Jamie. I go, wait, and then you said I'm taking Lisa. I'm like, no.
Okay,
Oh,
so
my God.
you are
That's
first,
funny.
Jamie.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How about yourself, hon?
I'm great, thanks. I just told Lisa I haven't talked to you since like February 13th, a long time. So
February as in
Glad you-
2013 or February 13th as in this year?
this year,
This
but
year.
I never got through any time that I called. And then she told me you switched radio stations. So thank God Lisa told me where you were.
Okay, well, cool. And it's funny because I put it out there everywhere on the website, on Facebook, on all the social media. But it's funny. I noticed that no matter how much we put out information, people can see something and think, oh, it's the same thing. It doesn't necessarily click, because I do that myself sometimes. And I go, oh, wait, it's different.
You have to put in big capital letters. Change.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Catch people's attention. I'm kidding. But see, I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and I don't think you're on Instagram because I looked.
No, it's one of
Are
those things that I probably should get on. I have a really great gal who's doing my social media these days because I just don't have enough hours in the day. I share with her what to share, and she gets it out there. But perhaps I'll have to take a look at Instagram and see what's connected and done with that.
Yeah, you definitely should, because I think a lot more people are just doing Instagram nowadays.
Oh,
so.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
All right.
See, learn something new every day.
That's it. So did you have a specific question, hon, or did you want just an overview?
I just really wanted like a romantic relationship question, because based on what you told me last time, which I was waiting to see if it came to fruition, and it hasn't thus far. So I was wondering if you saw something different now.
Okay. Interesting. The overall impression here is same thing. It's just timing being slightly askew. Interesting, too, that, I was saying, I don't know if you caught earlier in the show, but I was saying about how when we want something and sometimes we self-sabotage as far as that energy that we put out.
No, I was in yoga. I didn't hear the beginning.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is somewhat applicable to you. And not because it's intentional. It's, I'm going to say, the level of impatience that's there tends to create a slower energy as far as attraction. So I want to make a little suggestion for you that can speed this up. And then I would say I would be shocked if within the next, and when I say within, it could be as soon as tomorrow, not any later than 3 months of things coming to fruition in the way that we talked about. Every time that you think about this person coming into your world, give some thought to how happy it's going to make you versus I wish they were already here. You follow?
Yes.
Because it's a contradiction energetically. It's that idea of I wish they were already here. The universe says, oh, you do? Okay, I agree. You know what I mean? It doesn't understand that you're saying bring it to me. It's almost, I'll say stagnation, for lack of a better word here, where you're sitting right there in the precipice, but the universe is saying, oh, you're wishing, you're not accepting. And that's the key here. You want to accept because you're so excited about having it, because, it'll make your heart sing, but also that your mind will be so happy. So really be conscious of how you're thinking in terms of what's coming in.
Well, the reason I was that way, you said it was someone that I already was with. It was an old person, not a new person coming in.
Right. And it's not complete yet. So the best way...
That same person, or is it a new person? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Okay, so the best way I can articulate this is it's somebody that you already know, which to me represents somebody old. Meaning... It's not all of a sudden you're going down the street and somebody goes, hi, how are you? And you start chatting. But I feel like there's a connection to somebody who's already been in your world coming back into your world. But I am going to say at the same time, you'll notice that there is somebody cute who catches your eye. And I would say roughly 4 or 5 months after this person's back in your world, you're going to have to make a decision. There is definitely that push and pull feeling.
Well, you had told me last time it was push and pull the whole time, and it was like a twin flame thing where it's just bad timing.
Right.
And that you told me to do some self-work and light work and self-care, which you changed my life. Thank you for even putting those words in my head, and my world has changed.
Thank you.
I can't even tell you. I've never in my life done this, and it's changed my world. So reading one book after the other, The Power of Now, You Can Heal Your Life, Yoga, Yin, everything in the world you can think of. And so I thought, you said resonate and just do your thing. And you said around May that you would hear from him. So I didn't know if that was still, or now that I've changed my vibration, of maybe our energies don't even jive anymore.
It's not that they don't jive. It's just that you are, we'll say, different. And I'll explain what I mean. You can have chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Ice cream is the same, correct? But flavors are different. So to me, vibration-wise, as you continue to grow, you strengthen yourself. You strengthen what it is that is important to you. You are able to, I'm trying to put this in words that make sense. You're able to look for more and attract more. And even though I get this person coming back into your world, there's that push and pull that pops back up. I get there, though, making a decision. And I'm not going to say that you don't want this individual. I'm just going to say that there really is that contemplation over, does this individual fit for you anymore? And again, simultaneously, there's somebody here who I get catches your eye and you're thinking, wow, there's something really amazing about that person.
And that's a new person.
Yes. And May is,
I felt the same thing.
And May is not over, my friend. So,
you know what? When you clear your energy and all the negativity and anger out of your body, your third eye opens up and you start seeing things yourself. That's what happens.
Absolutely. Anytime you meditate, anytime you get centered, anytime you allow yourself to breathe, you activate that clairvoyance. You activate that inner knowing, that sentience.
The pineal gland.
Exactly. See, you have been reading.
Well, I already knew about it, but mine was so calcified. So I wrote letters of forgiveness to people and burned them into the universe. Like, I'm doing all the right steps. It's
excellent.
Sometimes I fall off the wagon, and you know how that can be.
Right. But see, the thing to recognize is when you fall off the wagon, in that moment, you don't want to sabotage everything you've done. So it's really important that when you're complete with that, let's say, hour of throwing a temper tantrum, that you just turn around and say, okay, I'm done with that. Now let me get back on track immediately. Let me realize that was being human and I'm allowed to have a moment. And even if that moment is 24 hours, you're allowed to have that moment. What's more important is to get back on track.
Well, the ego always tries to step in. And now that I'm the witness of my own thoughts, I try to realize when it's happening and stop it. But it's just been a little harder lately.
Okay, so light a candle, a pink candle, excuse me. Sneeze on the truth. Thank you. Light a pink candle. And as you light the candle, think in terms of universal love is present in and through my world in every area and in every way.
With a pink candle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wanted to ask you really quickly before I forget, because I know the same guy, and I kind of let go, and then I'm like, well, it's May now. But I did, oddly enough, see him recently, like 3-4 weeks ago, with another girl, which is unusual because that's something you never see with him. And I'm thought, well, what's that all about? I mean, it was just a weird, I was taken aback to see that.
What that was about is literally being lonely and wanting company. I don't get that he goes out a lot. I don't get that he is a really social person when it comes to romantically. He tends to focus more on what he needs to do as far as business. He tends to focus on some family stuff. It's interesting with him because I feel like he is more of an emotional person than an analytical person, which is somewhat of a contradiction for most men when we're speaking in general terms. Most men tend to be more linear and thought analytical first and emotional second. You know, there is the exception. But I feel like with him, there has to typically be a congruency for him on an emotional level for him to spend time with somebody. And that's rare from the way this feels. But this...
Well, that's what he told me. But then when I saw him with someone, I'm like, so I've been lied to. I just felt very betrayed, like that I was duped.
You were not lied. You were not lied to, honey. He told you the truth. It literally was about he just wanted some company. So don't take that personally. And keep in mind, this is only May 2nd.
I know. I just thought we could be friends if nothing else. But I was probably putting off my own energy that was reflecting and a mirror image. He was acting and responding to my energy, and you know how that goes.
I do. And again, you have that ability to enhance your energy, to expand. Keep expanding and leave the door open because I get within 3 months, but it wouldn't be unlikely for things to happen by the end of this month.
Listen, if I didn't talk to you that day, my life wouldn't be where it is today. So I thought if I never talk to you again, you've changed my life and you don't even know it. So I wanted to at least tell you that.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You were the catalyst to get me on my journey, and I've never done that. So very important for everyone. I can't preach it enough, but
Thank
I'm
you,
not judging
Jamie.
people
We've
anymore.
got to take a
Thank
quick
you.
break and let Lisa know here that I haven't forgotten you. We will be right back. This is your empowerment psychic, Halley, Elise, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are concerned for our loved ones. I have helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com.
You have been listening to a Top 100 Psychic, Halley Elise, your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. For a private session, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show and your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise.
Welcome back. We're going to pick up the line for Lisa right away since she was so patiently waiting. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Halley.
How are you?
I'm good. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you. So, did you have a specific question or you want me to dive in? What's better for you today?
You can just dive in.
Okay. Even though I feel like the majority of the time you are optimistic, it feels to me as if I'd say the last 3 to 5 months here, I get this wavering, this up and down feel with you as far as it's more than emotion. I'm going to use the word discontent for lack of a better way to express this. And I get the sense it's just a cycle. And I want to actually go back a little further. If I go back to, I'll say middle October last year, I feel like energetically there was a cycle that started that kind of puts you into this space where moments are like yay and other moments you're going, what's it all for? This cycle is going to be ending, I would say, by June. So hang in there. When you're finding you have moments where you want to just run away and you want to just try to figure out what can I do now because it doesn't feel like it's fitting in your world or you're fitting in your world, please know that it's just a temporary state. Once this cycle is over in June, you'll find there is a lot more ease and a lot more peace that is taking place. I really feel like between now and then, you need to do as much nurturing for your heart as you can. So eat your favorite foods. Don't think about them being fattening or not right or whatever, but like pick the things that make you smile. Go get a foot rub, dive into the ocean and just let the things that are bothering you kind of fall off. I just get the sense here, as I said, it's really important for you to nurture at this point. And I would also say I'd be very leery about making any major commitments at this point because you're not ready. And anything that you've already committed to, kind of think in terms of you're allowed to change your mind. And I feel like that's really important right now to really recognize anything that you've said, okay, yeah, I absolutely will do this. If it's not feeling right now, recognize that. Don't feel as if you have been hoodwinked into something because you thought you were supposed to versus it feeling like, yes, I should. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, I'm getting things shifting as far as financially. Also, it's interesting that June specifically starts a new cycle. I feel like it runs June, July, August, September to, let's say, the tail end of September, where anything having to do with finance, having to do with money, it's the right time to make change. It's the right time to invest. It's the right time to start throwing money in a jar and seeing your money grow, literally. The idea is to keep seeing money as fluid instead of as an absolute. And it's really interesting because I get, again, this up-down type of feel here in respect to not only how money is coming in, but how it's being looked at in this moment. Just remember, there is a shift that is coming up, and it's going to be pretty substantial. I am going to say if you've been, let's say, going to the same bank for 20 years, June through October, June through the end of September, it's going to be the right time to reevaluate. Is this the bank that is serving you best? Same thing with anything that has to do with money. And when I say that, that could be as little as a bank account or as big as a piece of property. So just kind of know timing-wise, it is the right time to make changes. Okay. Totally switch gears here for just a moment. And I'm going to preface with, obviously, I am not a doctor. I have no medical background whatsoever. It's just kind of what I sense or feel. I'm getting abdomen area, lower back area, hip. So we'll say that lower region of the body. And to me, there's a sensitivity here. Sensitivity is either predisposition for something borderline, or something older that pops up to go, hi, I'm here to bother you. Remember me? So I'm going to say be extra aware of any discomfort that takes place in that lower area. Again, abdomen, hip, lower back. I would really like to strongly suggest that when you wake up in the morning, if you can, get out of bed, stand up for just a moment, take a huge breath, real slow in, real slow out, and literally just bend over and kind of hang towards your toes for just a moment and breathe. And then stand up and then literally reach up to the sky and do the same thing, a big deep breath, and then start your day. And the reason for this, I feel like the energy there is not as, how can I put this into words? I'll explain it this way. In my mind's eye, when I'm talking about the energy in that area, it should be in a spiral, gentle spirals moving, sometimes waves. And what I'm getting almost is where there's no curvature to that energy. It's straight. And so to me, what that's representing is it needs to be softened. It needs to have more movement. So again, just a consciousness here of making some minor changes feels like it would be very helpful to you. That, and also that area of the body is twofold, lower back, hips, abdomen. I'm going to go to lower back and hips first, which to me has to do with feeling supported in our life as well as having the ability to move forward. And the abdomen, especially for women, has to do with our ability to create, which also has to do with moving forward. So there is a short period of time right now where, again, I'm going back to saying nurture yourself. Be okay with nurturing, and even if you're thinking something is elaborate, because it feels to me as if on a emotional level as well as physical and soul level right now is the time to create that sweetness within your physical body and your space, so that what comes next is truly joyful, is truly exciting, and also a lot more movement of ease, or ease of movement, backwards there.
Interesting, because I've had right lower hip pain for a month now, and I've been getting treated medically.
Okay.
They're supposed to be doing a CT scan at some point this week. They did an X-ray, but it didn't come out clear, so I need a CT scan. First, I thought it was a kidney stone, but they said no, I wouldn't be able to tolerate if that's what it was.
Right.
Something going on.
Yeah. So again, I pick it up spiritually. Obviously, the doctors are going to be able to see better physically the specifics here. I just know that if you are able to do the gentle movement that I was talking about, not to the point where you hurt yourself, obviously, but just gentle and literally bring breath in and take this time to nurture yourself, you'll heal and speed up that whole process that you're going through.
Okay.
All right, my friend.
I was thinking maybe I tore a muscle or sprained something in the gym. Not sure where it's coming from, but
yeah,
it's not abdomen. It's really that right flank pain.
I just keep coming back to it's that whole lower region, and everything's interconnected. So if you have, for instance, a nerve from the spine that is feeling compressed, it's going to affect the hip. If there's a little pinch towards the hip, it's going to affect the abdomen, etc.
Exactly. Do you see anything in my love life or career that's popping up?
Okay, love life. I'm going to say for now, it's less important than career. And I know that sounds crazy because we all want our love life to be awesome all the time. But I really feel like in this particular year, it's more about career than it is love life, and moves that you want to make within your career. Again, if you can, wait till June before you do anything.
Okay.
If you can do that,
see
then things are
change?
going to happen with ease.
You see change in June, possibly?
I feel like June, for me, if it were me, I would start putting feelers out, resumes at the very beginning of June. And then within a short period of time, you should be in a new position.
Oh, good. Okay.
And I am going to
That's my
add one
plan.
more thing here real quick, which is take a look at some of your hobbies, because I feel like if you did them part-time, you would be having a lot of fun and making money as well. And it's not that you have to do this, it's just I get a smile attached to it.
Like a yoga studio or something.
Exactly. All right, my friend, thank you so much for calling in. Have a beautiful
Thank you.
day.
Thank you so much, Haley. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. You know, it's interesting. I am often told when I come up with something in respect to the physical body that the doctor had just diagnosed something or they're going to the physician. So keep in mind your own intuition can always guide you. If something doesn't feel right, and I don't mean because of a physical discomfort, but within your mind, pay attention to it. Till next time, folks, have a great week, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Tune in every Tuesday on WNN at noon for an hour of peace, inspiration, and psychic phenomena with empowerment psychic Halley Elise. And be sure to visit HalleyElise.com. The opinions expressed on the